You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. These are your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Wednesday, August the 19th, 2020. The Rangers and Orioles played each other. 6-1 was the final score of this game. The Rangers ended up winning. They got 3 runs in the 5th inning and 3 runs in the 7th inning, which allowed them to take the lead after the Orioles scored 1 run in the 2nd. Jordan Lyles got the win, his 8th of the year, and Cole Stewart got the loss. He's now at 11. The Reds and Red Sox played each other in an interleague game. Final score of this game, 11-3. The Red Sox ended up winning. It was a close game early. The Reds had the lead. It was 3-1 after the 3rd inning. But then the Red Sox scored 1 in the 4th inning, making it a 1-run game. And then the Red Sox offense broke out in the 6th inning with 6 runs. They also tacked on 3 in the 7th for good measure. They ended up winning this game by 8. Colton Brewer got the win, and Cody Reed got the loss. The Rays and Yankees played each other in an AL East matchup. Final score of this game, 5-4. The Yankees came out on top. It was a close game. The Yankees were down early to the Rays. The Rays scored 2 immediately in the top of the 1st inning. The Yankees put up 1 in the 2nd and then took the lead in the 4th inning with a 3-run inning. The Rays then came back. They scored 2 in the 6th inning, so it was a tie game at 4. It went scoreless in the 7th and the 8th innings. The Rays didn't score in the top of the 9th, but the Yankees found a way to. They walked it off in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the game. Tommy Kahnle got the win out of the bullpen, his 9th win of the year, and Colin Poche got the loss. Interleague play between the Mets and the Angels favored the Angels. 6-3 was the final score of this game. The Angels did win this one. They scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning to take a rather early lead. The Mets were making a comeback. They scored 1 in the 7th inning, then they scored 2 in the 8th. That tied the game. But then the Angels scored 3 in the bottom of the 8th inning to double the Mets' score, and then with the Mets not scoring at all in the top of the 9th inning, the 6-3 final was yielded. Keaton Middleton got the win, his 7th of the year. Brad Brach got the loss, and Hansel Robles is now at 37 saves on the season. The White Sox and Twins played each other. 5-1 was the final score of this AL Central game. The Twins are first in the AL Central, and they have the best record in all of Major League Baseball, and they took a game from the second-place team in the division. The Twins scored 1 in the 3rd inning, then 3 in the 5th, then 1 in the 6th, totaling their 5 runs. The White Sox could only muster 1, and that run was scored in the 6th inning. Jake Odorizzi got the win, his 14th of the season. He's now 14-4, and Armand Marquez is evened out to 7-7 now in the season. The Cardinals and Blue Jays played each other in an interleague game. Final score of this game was 5-4. The Blue Jays won, and it was by 1 run that they won. Each team scored 4 in the 8th inning, but the difference maker in this one was the fact that the Blue Jays put up a run in the 6th inning. Thomas Pinode still undefeated. He's now 9-0 on the year out of the Blue Jays bullpen. Miller got the loss, and Ken Giles now has 34 saves on the season. The Indians and Athletics played each other. 4-3 was the final score of this game. This was an extra inning affair that the Indians won. The Indians scored early. They got 1 in the 4th inning and then 2 in the 5th. The Athletics had scored a run before that. Then they put up 1 in the 6th and 1 in the 7th inning. That tied the game at 3. Nobody scored in the 8th or the 9th, so that forced extras. The 10th went scoreless, but the Indians found a way to take the lead in the top of the 11th by scoring a run. The Athletics failed to respond, and they ended up losing. Oliver Perez got the win, Jake Diekman got the loss, and Brad Hand now has 39 saves on the season. The Mariners and Astros played each other. This is an AL West matchup. Final score of this game was 4-2. This game went into extra innings as well. It took 12 to complete, but the Mariners beat the Astros by a couple runs. The Mariners had made a comeback. They scored 2 in the top of the 9th inning, so they took a 2-1 lead over the Astros, but then the Astros scored 1 in the bottom of the 9th inning. That tied the game up, and that ultimately forced the extra innings, but it was moot because the Mariners ended up winning anyway. Carl Edwards Jr. got the win, Brad Peacock got the loss, and Taylor Williams got his first save of the season with the Mariners. The Brewers and Braves played each other. 8-3 the final score of this game. The Braves came out on top. Would have been a much closer game had the Braves not scored 6 in the bottom of the 5th inning, but they did, and they won by a total of 5. Mike Soroka got the win, his 12th win of the season, and Brandon Woodruff got the loss. He's now 6-10. The Tigers and Pirates played each other in an interleague game. Final score of this one was 4-2. The Tigers ended up winning this one. The Pirates scored 1 in the 5th and 1 in the 7th for their only 2 runs of the game. The Tigers had put up 1 in the 1st, but broke out for 3 in the top of the 7th to pull away with a bigger lead, and they ultimately won this game. Spencer Turnbull got the win, Clay Holmes got the loss, and Joe Jimenez now has 35 saves on the season. The Dodgers beat the Cubs 9-1, the final score of this game. The Dodgers had some rather early offense. They scored 2 runs in the top of the 4th inning, and then they put up 3 in the top of the 6th. It was 5-0 before the Cubs scored their first run in the bottom of the 7th. But then the Dodgers scored 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning for some extra insurance, and they pulled away with an eventual 8-run victory. Julio Urias got the win, and Yu Darvish got the loss. The Phillies and Marlins played each other in an NL East game. Final score of this game, 3-2. The Marlins ended up winning this one. There was some early offense in this game from both teams. The Phillies got 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 2nd, while the Marlins scored 2 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So it was tied at 2 up until the 5th when the Marlins broke the tie by scoring a run, and neither team scored after that point, which allowed the Marlins to run away with the win. Pablo Lopez got the win, his 11th of the season. Aaron Nola now 10-8 after getting the losing decision, and Brandon Kinsler is up to 34 saves now in the season. The Nationals and Rockies played each other. Final score of this game, 6-2. The Nationals came out on top. The Nats brought out their offense quickly. They got 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning, and they did not relinquish the lead after that point. There were some ones scattered across the scoring board from both teams, but because the Nationals scored 3 in that 1st inning, they made this a rather easy victory for themselves. Steven Strasburg got the win, his 14th of the season. John Gray's now 5-12. He got the loss. And Sean Doolittle earned his 34th save of the season. And an NL West matchup between the Giants and Padres. And the Padres won this game 7-5. The Giants came out early with the bats. They got 4 in the top of the 1st inning, while the Padres responded with a run in that bottom of the 1st inning. But the Giants did not score much after that. The same could not be said for the Padres, and that's a good thing for them because they scored 2 in the 3rd and then 3 in the 6th inning, which allowed them to take the lead. Each team exchanged some runs toward the later part of the game. The Giants got 1 in the 7th, and the Padres got 1 in the 8th. But the Padres, because of 2 big scoring innings, allowed themselves to win this game by 2 runs and beat a division opponent. Matt Strahm is now 8-2 on the season. Logan Webb got his 3rd loss, and Kirby Yates now has 41 saves on the season. Let's take a look at standings now, starting in the American League East. The New York Yankees still lead. They're 76-51. They won today. The Blue Jays are 70-58, 6.5 games back of the Yankees. They're on a 3-game winning streak and staying in the division race. 70-58 is their overall record. The Rays are 66-61 in 3rd place, 10 games back of the division lead. The Red Sox in 4th with a 63-64 overall record. They're 13 games back of 1st place. And the Orioles are 47-79. They've lost 8 games in a row. They're 28.5 games back of 1st place, and their division elimination number is 8. In the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins won today. They're 87-42 now. They still have the best record in Major League Baseball. Likewise, they still lead the division. The White Sox in 2nd, 72-54 is their overall record. They are 13.5 games back of 1st. The Indians are on a 9-game winning streak. Unfortunately, they're overshadowed by both the Twins and the White Sox, but still a respectable 71-55 overall record. They're 14.5 games back of 1st place. And the Tigers are 56-71, 30 games back of 1st. Their division elimination number is 5. In the American League West, the Oakland Athletics still lead. They're 74-53. They've lost 4 in a row, though, and 8 of their last 10. The Astros have not been winning recently either, which means that they don't gain any ground on the Athletics. 70-57 is their record. They're 4 games back of 1st. The Angels are 59-69. They're 15.5 games back of 1st place. Their division elimination number is 20, though they've won their last 3 games. The Rangers are on a 4-game winning streak. They're 55-72, 19 games back of 1st. Their division elimination number is 17. And the Mariners are 52-76, 22.5 games back of 1st. Their division elimination number is 13. And here are the wild card standings in the American League. The White Sox have the top spot with a 72-54 record. The Indians, because they've gotten hot recently, again, they're on a 9-game winning streak. They're 71-55, and they have the second wild card spot. The Astros lost to the Mariners today, so they move a game further back of the Indians for that second wild card spot. 70-57 is their record. They're a game and a half back of the second wild card spot. The Blue Jays getting closer again. They're 70-58. They're on a 3-game winning streak. They're 2 games back of the Indians for that second wildcard spot. The Rays not winning consistently enough to get close, but they're still in the race. They're still in contention. 66-61 is their record. They're 5.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. The Red Sox lingering, but they're running out of time to make a postseason push. They have to get hot quickly if they want a realistic chance of making a wildcard spot. 63-64 is their record. They're 8.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. And every other team in the American League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 13 games back of that second wildcard spot. And these bottom four teams are on the brink of elimination. The Rangers have a playoff elimination number of 20. The Mariners have a playoff elimination number of 16. The Orioles have a playoff elimination number of 13. And the Royals, who have the worst record in Major League Baseball, have a playoff elimination number of 10 now. In the National League East, the Atlanta Braves continue to lead the division with a 75-53 record. They've won 3 in a row and 9 of their last 10. The Nationals still hanging around, but they have not gotten the division lead back ever since they had it for most of the year. 72-56 is their overall record. They're 3 games back. The Marlins 68-59, 6.5 games back. They've won 3 in a row. The Phillies have gotten cold recently. That's not only hurting them in the division, but in the wild card race as well. You'll see that when we get there. But they're 62-65 overall, 12.5 games back of the division lead. And the Mets are 54-72, 20 games back of first place. Their division elimination number is 16. In the National League Central, the Cardinals still lead with a 72-55 record, though they've lost their last 2 games. The Cubs are 68-59, 4 games back of first place. The Brewers 56-70, 15.5 games back of first place. The Reds 52-74, 19.5 games back. Their division elimination number is 17. And the Pirates, who have the worst record in the National League, are 46-81, 26 games back of first. And their division elimination number is 10. In the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers still have the second best record in Major League Baseball. 84-45 is their record. They still lead the division. The Padres are 67-60, 16 games back of first place. They've won their last 2 games. The Diamondbacks 65-62. They're 18 games back of first. The Rockies are 57-71, 26.5 games back of first place. Their division elimination number is 8. And the Giants have been eliminated from winning the division mathematically. 46-80 is their overall record. They're 36.5 back of first place. They've lost 5 in a row. And here are the wildcard standings in the National League. Right now, the Nationals have the top spot with a 72-56 record. The Marlins and Cubs tied for the second wildcard spot. They both have 68-59 records. The Marlins have gotten hot recently. They've won their last 3 games, while the Cubs have lost most recently. The Padres are a game out with a 67-60 record. The Diamondbacks 65-62, 3 games back at the second wildcard spot. And the Phillies still hanging around as well, but they've lost 3 in a row, and that's moved their winning percentage further below 500. They're 62-65 overall, now 6 games back of the second wildcard spot. Every other team in the National League has a winning percentage under 500 and is at least 11.5 games back of that second wildcard spot. And these bottom 2 teams on the brink of elimination. The Giants have a 46-80 overall record. They're 21.5 games back of the second wildcard spot, and their playoff elimination number is 15. And the Pirates, with the worst record in the National League by a half game, 46-81 is their record, and their playoff elimination number is 14. And let's take a look at league leaders, starting with batting average leaders in the American League. Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a .341. JD Martinez 2 points behind him with a .339, and Francisco Lindor in the top 3 with a .322. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a .350. That also leads all of Major League Baseball. Nolan Arenado, the next best, with a .338, and Christian Yelich rounds out the top 3 with a .332. Hits leaders in the American League, JD Martinez has the most with 173. Miguel Andujar behind him with 167. And Miguel Cabrera, third best with 164. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 170. 5 behind him, Ronald Acuna Jr., who has 165. And Nolan Arenado, third best with 159. At bat leaders in the American League, Miguel Andujar has the most with 519. JD Martinez has 510. He's the next best. And Jose Abreu, 508. Good for third best in the league. And in the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 531. Ozzie Albies, the next best with 505. And Marcus Semien rounds out the top 3 with 500. Doubles leaders in the American League, Anthony Rendon has the most with 42. 1 behind him, Jose Abreu, who has 41. and Miguel Andujar, one away from 40. He's at 39. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 50. Christian Yelich behind him with 38. 12 behind him, to be exact. And Ronald Acuna Jr., one behind Yelich with 37. Triples leaders in the American League. Adalberto Mondesi has the most with 8. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., the next best with 7. Oscar Mercado, Adam Eaton, Byron Buxton, and Jose Altuve tied for third best. They're all at 6. In the National League, Jonathan Villar leads with 13. Victor Robles and Andrew McCutchen tied for second best with 8. Home run leaders in the American League. Justin Upton still at the top of the AL. He has 44. Chris Davis, the next best with 37. And Yohan Moncada, third best with 36. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads, and he also leads all of Major League Baseball with 45. Paul Goldschmidt, 3 behind him with 42. And Eugenio Suarez, third best with 37. RBI leaders in the American League. Chris Davis has the most. He has 103. Nelson Cruz, second best with 98. And JD Martinez rounds out the top 3 with 97. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt still the leader. He's at 109. Eugenio Suarez has reached the century mark. He's up to 100. And Ronald Acuna Jr. 5 behind Suarez. Acuna Jr. has 95. Runs scored leaders in the American League. JD Martinez and Rafael Devers each lead. They both have 94. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. at the top with 105. He's the only one in Major League Baseball over 100 in this category. Stolen base leaders in the American League. Malik Smith has the most with 33. Adalberto Mondesi, the next best with 27. D. Gordon rounds out the top 3 with 25. In the National League, Trey Turner leads all of Major League Baseball with 42. Starling Marte behind him by 2 with 40. And Jonathan Villar rounds out the top 3 with 34. Walks leaders in the American League. Rhys Hoskins and Shin-Soo Choo still close to the top, and in this particular instance, they both have 79, which qualifies them both to lead this category for that league. And in the National League, Paul Goldschmidt is the walks leader. He has 88. On-base percentage leaders in the American League, Miguel Cabrera has the highest at a 422, Alex Bregman the next best with a 411, and JD Martinez third best with a 408. In the National League, Paul Goldschmidt leads with a 439, Christian Yelich the next best with a 434, and Ronald Acuna Jr. third best with a 432. Slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Justin Upton leads with a 644, Yohan Moncada behind him with a 626, and JD Martinez rounds out the top 3 with a 614. In the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads. He also leads all of Major League Baseball with a 739 slugging percentage. Paul Goldschmidt behind him with a 677, and Christian Yelich third best with a 653. On base percentage plus slugging percentage leaders in the American League, Justin Upton at the top with a 1.031, JD Martinez the next best with a 1.022, and Yohan Moncada third best with a 1.007. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. leads with a 1.171, Paul Goldschmidt behind him with a 1.116, and Christian Yelich third best with a 1.087. Moving on to pitcher leaderboards, starting with wins leaders in the American League, there's a 3-way tie for the league best. Lucas Giolito, Jake Odorizzi, and Hyunjin Ryu all have 14 wins. They're all tied for the top. In the National League, Walker Buehler leads all of Major League Baseball with 16. Steven Strasburg, the next best with 14. Yu Darvish, Jimmy Nelson, Mike Soroka, Mike Fultonevich, and Madison Bumgarner all tied for third best. They're all at 12. Losses leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda and Sean Manaea have the least amount among pitchers to qualify. They're both at 2. And in the National League, Walker Buehler has the least amount among pitchers to qualify. He's also at 2. Saves leaders in the American League, none of the AL pitchers are at 40 yet, but Brad Hand leads them all, leads the league with 39. Liam Hendricks one behind him with 38. And Roberto Ozuna and Hansel Robles tied for third best. They're both at 37. In the National League, Will Smith is the leader. He has 42 saves. Kirby Yates and Kenley Jansen each tied for second best. They're both at 41. ERA leaders in the American League, Kenta Maeda has the lowest at a 2.57. Sean Manaea the next lowest at a 2.69. And Hyunjin Ryu rounds out the top 3. He has a 2.85. In the National League, Walker Buehler's under 2. He has a 1.91. Marcus Stroman and Carlos Martinez, they're both tied for the second lowest ERA in the league. They have a 2.45. Home runs allowed among American League pitchers, Kenta Maeda has the least amount among pitchers to qualify. He's at 9. And in the National League, Carlos Martinez has the least amount among pitchers to qualify. He's also at 9. Shutout leaders in the American League, Masahiro Tanaka has the most. He has 5 shutouts. Garrett Cole behind him. He has 3. Sean Manaea, Jake Odorizzi, and Jose Barrios, they're each tied for third best. They all have 2 shutouts. In the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with 5. Zach Wheeler has 3, and then there's a long tie for third best. Aaron Nola, Pablo Lopez, Sandy Alcantara, Merrill Kelly, Walker Buehler, and Clayton Kershaw all have 2. Strikeout leaders in the American League, Garrett Cole leads with 208, Lucas Giolito the next best with 190, and Jake Odorizzi third best with 185. In the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 217, Clayton Kershaw the next best with 186, and Max Scherzer rounds up the top three with 183. Complete games thrown among American League pitchers, Masahiro Tanaka leads with 5, Garrett Cole has 3, Corey Kluber, Sean Manaea, Jake Odorizzi, Jose Barrios, Aaron Savali, and Hyunjin Ryu all have 2. They're all tied for third best. In the National League, Jacob deGrom leads with 5, Zach Wheeler behind him by 1 with 4, and Aaron Nola rounds out the top 3 with 3. Innings pitched leaders in the American League, Hyunjin Ryu has the most, 183 even, and in the National League, Steven Strasburg leads with 179 and a third innings pitched. Walks allowed among American League pitchers, Jordan Zimmerman has the least amount among pitchers that qualify, he has 32, and in the National League, Brett Anderson has the least amount among pitchers that qualify, he's also at 32. Whip leaders in the American League, Sean Manaea has the lowest at a 102, Hyunjin Ryu second lowest at a 108, and Masahiro Tanaka third lowest at a 110. In the National League, Jacob deGrom has the lowest at a 107, slightly higher than his. Clayton Kershaw, who's also at a 107, and Pablo Lopez has the third lowest. He's at a 108. Pitching WAR leaders in the American League, Jake Odorizzi has the highest at a 4.4, Masahiro Tanaka second highest at a 4, and Kenta Maeda third highest at a 3.6. In the National League, Walker Buehler leads with a 4.4, Jacob deGrom the next best with a 4.3, and Steven Strasburg rounds up the top 3 with a 3.9. And batting WAR leaders in the American League, Yohan Moncada has the highest at a 7.1, Alex Bregman the next best with a 7, and Francisco Lindor third best with a 6.7. And in the National League, Ronald Acuna Jr. has the highest among Major League Baseball players. He's at an 8.4. Marcus Semien the next best at a 7.9, and Nolan Arenado rounds up the top 3. He has a 7.6. These have been your game recaps, standing updates, and league leaders from Wednesday, August the 19th, 2020. I'm Nicholas Callis. You've been watching Major League Baseball's virtual network.